What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about women who believe everything a man tells them in the beginning without any reason, and women who get manipulated because they trust too soon, and they buy into the fantasy that a man sells them. Listen, before I start, we only have a couple of days left for you to register for this month's live event. Okay, or actually next month's live event. My next live event is October 2nd. Okay, it's October 2nd, Friday, October 2nd. If you want to attend, you need to register at the link below. And also, for those of you who don't know, I have a couple of new services on my Girl Talk with Guys website. I now have half-hour consultations, hour-long video calls, and even a voice memo package for unlimited voice memos for people who need a little bit of extra help. So go check those packages out on girltalkwithguys.com if you need the extra help. And also, don't forget to sign up for my live, as I just said. If you're watching this video after October 2nd, that link will be reactivated and it will show you the date in the calendar for the next live. But come to the live, register. You're not going to want to miss this. It's a lot less people in these private lives than there are in public lives. My public lives get about 600, 300, 400 people. Everyone gets more time and more questions answered. It's a personal experience. The conversation's so much better. We had an amazing time for the last live we did. This live so far is still under 30, so we may not even have that many people because I haven't uploaded a bunch of advertisements like I did the first time. So if you come to this live, please be ready to talk to me because I will need it. There are a lot less distractions. There are no trolls. There's only a good conversation happening. So you're not going to want to miss it, or any other lives for that matter. So with that said, on to this topic. I talk to a lot of women that get sucked into the dreams that guys sell them. The things that men verbalize about the futures they want with these women and the relationships they hope to have, all while getting all the benefits that that woman has to offer in a relationship, all while telling that woman he's not ready, or we should take it slow, we should take our time, let's not rush anything, I don't like titles. All of these excuses to continue getting everything a woman has to offer and giving her nothing in return. Extracting every bit of affection and every resource that she has to give while offering little of anything. Women are often very, very heartbroken at the experience they have with men after giving so much to receive so little in return. When I ask them why did they give so much? Why did they offer themselves in that way? They say, oh, well, he told me he loved me, or he was going to love me. He told me he wanted a relationship. He told me he wanted marriage. He told me he was looking for something serious, something real. He talked about future plans. He talked about kids. He said all of these things to make me think that he really wanted this with me. In essence, he sold her dreams. Listen, ladies, if there's no consistent history of action to confirm a man's words, let his dreams and fantasies and ideas go in one ear and out the other. Hear his words, listen to his actions. We must be really careful in this stage where we're getting to know a person but we haven't been around them enough to observe their actions closely. Because when a person's words match our fantasies, we are more likely to believe them without cause, without a good reason. They don't need to establish as much trust when they're saying what we want to hear. Our minds take over and accept whatever they're saying as truth because it's what we've been waiting for. The lines of fantasy and reality are blurred when the right person says the right things, especially at the right time. For that reason, I want you to give yourself a few rules here. Rule number 1, believe what was done, not what was spoken in the beginning of a relationship, or when you're first meeting a guy. I've met women who were told by a guy he was in love with them the first day he seen them or the first week he saw them. Of course, people start making plans and planning trips because you seem to be getting along and they have a place they want to go, and it would be really nice to go with someone they like. And at the moment, in that time, they like you. Therefore, you start making all these verbal commitments to plans that you hadn't paid for and trips you hadn't bought. Sometimes you have bought them. But because they're saying that in the moment, with a very new woman, everything seems like a good idea. Whatever might entice this woman, whatever might keep her on my side, and whatever might get me in her pants is going to be said if I'm a scoundrel. So again, trust what was done and not what was spoken, because people can say anything under the sun, but they rarely do anything that they don't really want to do, especially someone who's self-serving. Only consider believing words that are validated by a man's actions. If you get no confirmation in the way a man follows through on his words, then his words meant nothing. So don't waste your time looking forward to things or believing everything he tells you. Just watch slowly, watch carefully, be vigilant, be observant. And when his actions line up with the things he's told you, then you have permission to believe them. You have reason to believe them. Another rule you need to set for yourself in the beginning of these relationships is you need to be able to trust you to make decisions that protect you. So many women talk about how they can't trust a man. They will never trust another man. They have trust issues. When in reality, they don't trust themselves. They've been their biggest traitor because they knew when things were wrong and they continued forward. They knew when people were not treating them well and they allowed it to happen. They knew when a guy wasn't good for them, but they still tried to force that square peg into the round hole. They still tried to make him work because he was their fantasy. They've learned not to trust themselves, that they don't make good decisions. Well, how could you ever trust anyone if you don't trust yourself? If you're not your own best friend, your own protector, your own security guard? If you're not vigilant, if you're not protecting you, why would you ever trust anyone? You have to be able to trust yourself to make great decisions, and you have to be able to trust yourself to protect you when you see something's wrong. Far too many women can't do that. Far too many women can't say that I saw something wrong and I made a decision, even against my will, I made a decision that removed him from my life. Most women don't betray their fantasy. Their fantasy must betray them. Their fantasy must walk away from them. So many guys have saved the lives of many women just rejecting them, just walking away from women who would not let go of a fantasy of a toxic man who was going to drag them down to hell with him. But because he had enough of their shit or he found another victim, he walked away from them. I would much rather you sit in the dark and cry for a month or two than go where some of these guys will drag you. Some of these guys are letting go of you when you won't let go of them, and it's a blessing in disguise. With that said, the third idea or rule that you need to institute in your dating life is to understand this. Love is too valuable an asset to just be given away to an enticing stranger. The risk is too great. You have to learn how to control the pace of a new relationship. Stop letting them control the pace of everything. When you give up all of your leverage, you lose control quickly. And it's not about control of them. It's about control of you. It's not about who's winning the relationship or who has dating leverage. It's about who's in control of you. Women often relinquish control of themselves when they like a guy. So many let their new love run over their boundaries and run their lives, simply to stay in the good graces of them. Stop giving away love in the absence of evidence that it will be reciprocated. You wouldn't do that with your money, hopefully. You wouldn't loan your life savings to a homeless person or a beggar, not without evidence that they knew how to manage money. But they're homeless. They're a beggar. They likely don't know how to manage money. Yet and still, so many of you will watch a man who has no evidence or history that he treats women well. He's showing you no actions that he can treat you well. He just showed up, charmed you, he was charismatic, he gave you butterflies, and you gave everything you had to offer. Is your heart not more valuable than money? If you wouldn't loan your life savings to a beggar, why would you loan your heart to a man that you have no reason to trust? At least let a man establish that he can be trusted before you give him everything you have to offer. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Again, the next live stream is Friday, October 2nd. We only have a couple days left. Please come register, join, come talk to me, enjoy this live with me, enjoy this conversation. Of course, there are some registration perks, but I'm not going to waste my time telling y'all about that. Click the link, you'll find out what you get for your live tickets this time. That's all I got for now. Follow me at KidVic24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.